press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update.
Hello students, welcome to the discussion of model paper 1. It is a grand test. In this test, the first question number 46 is, which of the following statement is not true about acid rain? So how is acid rain formed? Oxides of nitrogen like nitrogen dioxide, oxides of sulfur like sulfur dioxide, sulfur trioxide, and carbon dioxide which dissolves in rainwater to form acidic solution. So nitrogen dioxide dissolves in water to form nitric acid, sulfur dioxide dissolves in water to form sulfurous acid, sulfur trioxide dissolves in water to form sulfuric acid, carbon dioxide dissolves in water to form carbonic acid. So that is why, so in the question, which of the following statement is not true about acid rain? Option 1, causes no damage to monuments like Taj Mahal. Causes no damage. Acid water, acidified water, the electrolytic impurities which enhance the process of corrosion. So it causes no damage to the monuments like Taj Mahal. That is wrong. It causes damage to the monuments. So question is not true. So first option is not true. Clear? So first option is not true. So option 1. Then second option, it is due to reaction of SO2, NO2, CO2 with rainwater. That is the correct statement. So third option, pH is less than 5.6. That is also correct statement. It is harmful for plants. That is also right. So because we know that the low concentration of sulfur dioxide that reduces the formation of chlorophyll in plants is clear. So that is why not a true statement is first one. So for the question number 46, your answer is first one. Clear? So first option is the right option. Next question. Question number 47. Next question number 47. Oxidation number of underlying atom in the following species, identify the incorrect option. In the first option, K2Cr2O7. In question number 47, K2Cr2O7, the oxidation state of chromium is +6. So that is correct. Then second one, Cu2O, second option, Cu2O, oxidation state of oxygen is, oxygen is -2. So but in the given option 2, so it is given -1 is given. So first option is right. Oxidation state of chromium and potassium dichromate is +6. That is right. Oxidation state of oxygen is -1 in cuprous oxide. That is wrong. Oxidation state of oxygen in cuprous oxide is -2. So hence the second one is the incorrect option. Then third one, HuCl4, auric acid. The oxidation state of gold is +3. That is also correct. The oxidation state of chlorate, chlorine in chlorate is +5. That is also correct. So wrong one is second option. Next question. Question number 48. Reaction of propanamide. Reaction of propanamide with ethanolic sodium hydroxide and bromine. Reaction of propanamide. Question number 47, 48. Reaction of propanamide. So propanamide is CH3, CH2, CO, NH2. So this is propanamide, which on treatment with ethanolic sodium hydroxide, on treatment with sodium hydroxide, ethanolic sodium hydroxide and bromine. So bromine and alcoholic sodium hydroxide. Ethanolic means alcoholic sodium hydroxide. So this reaction is called Hoffman's degradation reaction. Hoffman's degradation reaction. Hoffman's degradation reaction. In Hoffman's degradation reaction, so propanamide, it is converted into, so loss of carbon takes place in the form of sodium carbonate, CS3, CH2, NH2, ethylamine, sodium bromide, and sodium carbonate, Na2CO3. So here ethylamine is the product obtained when propanamide is heated with ethanolic sodium hydroxide and bromine. The reaction is called Hoffman degradation reaction. Hence, so for the question number 48, your answer is ethylamine. So this is ethylamine. Ethylamine. Clear? Note observe madre. Any acidamide on treatment with bromine and KOH. Loss of carbon takes place in the form of carbonate to give the respective primary amine, that is ethylamine. Clear? Next, so let us move on to the another question, question number 49. A liquid compound X can be purified by steam distillation only if it is. So what is the principle involved in the steam distillation process? Principle involved in steam distillation. So principle involved in steam distillation process. So what is the principle involved in steam distillation process of purifying the liquid? So compound should be steam volatile. Compound should be steam volatile. Andre steam ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಅದು ವೇಪರೈಸ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು. Compound should be steam volatile. And it is insoluble in water. And it is insoluble in water. Then only it is very easy to separate from the mixture. Clear? So, ಈ ಎರಡು ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್ ಏನಿದೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಸ್ಟೀಮ್ ಡಿಸ್ಟಿಲೇಷನ್ ಮೆಥಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಿನ್ಸಿಪಲ್. ಕಾಂಪೌಂಡ್ ಸ್ಟೀಮ್ ಹೊಲಟೈಲ್ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಸ್ಟೀಮ್ ಅನ್ನ ಪಾಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಆ ಸ್ಟೀಮ್ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ನಮಗೆ ಬೇಕಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಕ್ ಕಾಂಪೌಂಡ್ ಇದೆ ಅದು ವಾಲಟಿಲಿಟಿ ಇರಬೇಕು, ಸ್ಟೀಮ್ ವಾಲಟೈಲ್ ಆಗಿರಬೇಕು. Then second point is that compound should be insoluble in water, immiscible, not soluble in water. Clear? So hence your option is, so not in the first option, not a steam volatile, wrong. Steam volatile, that is right. Miscible with water, that is wrong. Steam volatile, immiscible with water. The compound should be steam volatile, immiscible with water. So means insoluble in water. Fourth option, not steam volatile, that is also wrong. Clear? So for the question number 49, so third option is the right option. Next question. Question number 50. Among the compounds shown below, which one revealed a linear structure? ನೋಡಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಕಾಂಪೌಂಡ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರೋ ಯಾವ ಕಾಂಪೌಂಡ್ಸ್ ಲೀನಿಯರ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ಇದೆ? ಸೊ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ 1 N2O. So N2O is linear structure. N2O is linear structure. ನೋಡಿ ಈಗ ಬರ್ತದೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ. So N double bond N, so here plus O. This is a linear compound. HOCl in the second option, HOCl hypochlorous acid, then NO2 and also O3. So this is O3 is angular, NO2 is bent or angular. This is also bent or angular. So this is only N2O is a linear structure. So for the question number 50, first option is the right option. Clear? Nodi, linear structure is nitrous oxide. Nitrous oxide is linear structure. So other three are bent or angular. Clear? Next. So but ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗಿದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಲೋನ್ ಪೇರ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ ನೈಟ್ರೋಜನ್ ಇನ್ವಾಲ್ವ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಸೊ ಉಳಿದಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಕೇಸಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲೂ ಕೂಡ ಇನ್ವಾಲ್ವ್ ಆಗಿರಲ್ಲ. ಇನ್ವಾಲ್ವ್ ಆದ್ರೂ ಕೂಡ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬೆಂಟ್ ಟೈಪ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್? ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಲೆಟ್ us move on to the question number 51. Which of the following compound is most reactive in electrophilic aromatic substitution? Most reactive in electrophilic aromatic substitution. Question number 51. Most electrophilic aromatic substitution. Most electrophilic, most reactive towards electrophilic substitution reaction. Or it is most reactive towards electrophilic substitution reaction. So what is the concept involved in this question? ಯಾವ compound most electrophilic substitution, that is most reactive towards electrophilic substitution reaction. So we know that benzene contains highly delocalized pi electron cloud. So therefore it would attract electrophiles. Hence benzene undergoes electrophilic substitution reaction. The electrophiles are preferably attached to the sites having high electron density. Suppose in case if electron donating group attached to the benzene ring, so that the electron density on the benzene ring increases, as a result of which such compounds which attracts electrophiles readily, which means that electron donating groups increases their reactivity of electrophiles towards substitution reactions. So in phenol, phenol containing OH group is electron donating group. So OH group in phenol, it is electron donating group. Therefore, so phenol is most reactive towards electrophilic substitution reaction. So first option is right. Second one, CHCl2, it is an electrophile, electron deficient species. It cannot favors the electrophilic attack. Then third one, NO2 group is an electron withdrawing group. So electron withdrawing groups decreases the rate of the attack of new electrophile to the benzene ring. So because the NO2 group that decreases the electron density on the benzene ring. So that is why third option is wrong. So fourth one is possible, but when compared to phenol, so this is less reactive. So hence your option is first option. So reason is, so OH group is electron donating group. Electron donating groups increase the reactivity towards electrophilic substitution reactions. Clear? So hence for the question 51, so first option is the right option. So first option is right for question number 51. Clear? ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡ್ರಿ, ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರೋಫೈಲ್ ಬೆನ್ಸಿನಿಗೆ ಅಟ್ಯಾಕ್ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಬೆನ್ಸಿನ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ ಡೆನ್ಸಿಟಿ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರಬೇಕು. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಬೆನ್ಸಿನಿಗೆ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ ಡೆನ್ಸಿಟಿ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಬೆನ್ಸಿನ್ ಅಟ್ಯಾಚ್ ಆಗಿರತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ಸ್ ಏನಿದಾವಲ್ಲ, ದೇ ಶುಡ್ ಬಿ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ ಡೊನೇಟಿಂಗ್ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ ಡೊನೇಟಿಂಗ್ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ಸ್ increases the electron donating groups which activates the benzene ring towards electrophilic substitution reactions. So among the given options, so in phenol OH group is electron donating group that increases the electron density on the benzene ring. Clear? Yes. Next. So move on to another question. Question number 52. Question number 52. ನೋಡಿಲಿ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ನಂಬರ್ 52 ನಲ್ಲಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ಒಂದು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ವಿಸಿಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ನೋಡ್ರಿ, ವಿಚ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಫಾಲೋಯಿಂಗ್ ವಿಲ್ ನಾಟ್ ಅಂಡರ್ಗೋ SN1 ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ವಿತ್ OH ಮೈನಸ್. ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದಿ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಇನ್ವಾಲ್ವ್ಡ್ ಇನ್ ದಿಸ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್? ಏನಿದಾಗರೆ ವಿಚ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಫಾಲೋಯಿಂಗ್ ವಿಲ್ ನಾಟ್ ಅಂಡರ್ಗೋ SN1 ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್. ನೋಡಿ, ಫಾರ್ ದಿ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ನಂಬರ್ 52. Question number 52. In case of SN1 reaction, so in SN1 reaction, intermediate species is carbocation. Intermediate species is carbocation. We know that the reactivity that depends on stability of carbocation. So reactivity directly proportional to the stability of carbocation. More the reactive intermediate species form, faster is the rate of reaction. So more the stable reaction intermediate, more the stable reaction intermediate, faster is the rate of reaction. So ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕನ್ಕ್ಲೂಷನ್ ಏನಾಗಾದ್ರೆ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರೋ 4 ಆಪ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಟೇಬಲ್ ಕಾರ್ಬೋಕ್ಯಾಟಯನ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ನೋಡ್ಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಇನ್ ದಿ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ರಿ, CH3 ಸರ್ CH2 CH ಸಿಂಗಲ್ ಬಾಂಡ್ CH2 Cl. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅಲೈಲ್ ಕ್ಲೋರೈಡ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ದಿ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಆಪ್ಷನ್. ಸೊ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಮೇಕ್ ಎ ನೋಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದೀಸ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ದೇ ಆರ್ ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. ಒಂದು ಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ರೇಟ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಸ್ಟೆಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಆಫ್ ಇಂಟರ್ಮೀಡಿಯೇಟ್ ಸ್ಪೀಸೀಸ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರ್ತದ, ರಿಯಾಕ್ಟಿವಿಟಿ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಮೋರ್ ದಿ ಸ್ಟೇಬಲ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಇಂಟರ್ಮೀಡಿಯೇಟ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್, ಫಾಸ್ಟರ್ ಇಸ್ ದಿ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ರೇಟ್. ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್? ಸೊ ಇದನ್ನ ನೋಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಡ್ರೆ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್, ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಈ ಕಾಂಪೌಂಡ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಅಲೈಲ್ ಕ್ಲೋರೈಡ್ ಈಸ್ ಗಿವನ್. ಸೊ ಇನ್ ದಿ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಗಿವನ್ ಅಲೈಲ್ ಕ್ಲೋರೈಡ್. ಸೊ ಇನ್ ದಿ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ CH2 double bond CH, single bond CH2Cl. Question is, which of the following will not undergo, negative statement not undergo reaction with OH minus? Clear? ನೋಡಿ ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಿ. So intermediate species is this carbocation. It is stabilized by resonance. So it is stable. Carbocation or positive charge developed on the allylic carbon, stabilized by resonance. resonance. It means that the more stable carbocation. The second one is CS3 triCCl. CS3 thrice, sir, second one. First one is this one, second one. So fourth one is, so first one, this second one. Second one is CS3 triCCl. CH3 triCCl. So here the carbocation form, so it is stabilized by positive inductive effect plus I effect. Stabilized by plus I effect. Then the third option, in the third option, so this compound is given in the third option. So look here, CH2, Cl. CS2Cl. So ನಿಮಗೆ ವಿಸಿಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅದು. ಸೊ ನೋಡಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಜ್ಞಾಪಕಟ್ಕೊಳ್ರಿ. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ this is the carbocation. This carbocation is unstable. It is unstable. Why? So it is not stabilized by resonance. Suppose if the carbocation, if positive charge is developed on the benzyl carbon atom, then it is stabilized by resonance. It is unstable. Hence your option. So it is not involving SN1 reaction. And another option is also given. So another option is benzyl chloride. Fourth option is benzyl chloride. CH2Cl. So intermediate species is carbocation. So because in SN1 reaction, first step is the dissociation of alkyl halide. Clear? So after the dissociation, it can form a carbocation. If that carbocation is more stable, then the reaction rate is very high. If the carbocation obtained is less stable or unstable, so reaction is not fast, and such reactions which are not involving SN1 reaction. So therefore, so this is not reacts, or it is not follows SN1 reaction. So hence your option is C6H5. So this is the third option. So but ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸೊ ನಿಮಗೆ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ವಿಸಿಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಇಲ್ಲ, ನೋಡ್ಕೊಳ್ರಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತಲ್ಲ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ more the stable reaction intermediate formed, faster is the rate of reaction. Next question number 53. Next question number 53. Which of the following is not true about chloramphenicol? Which of the following is not true about chloramphenicol? So chloramphenicol, it is a broad spectrum antibiotic. It is a broad spectrum antibiotic. That is correct. First option is right. The second option, it is not bactericidal. That is also correct. It is bacteriostatic. That is also right. It inhibits the growth of only gram-positive bacteria. So look at the first option. It is a broad spectrum antibiotic, which means that it inhibits. So look here. So chloramphenicol, it inhibits. Chloramphenicol, so it inhibits the growth of both gram-positive and gram-negative bacteria. So that is why it is broad spectrum antibiotic. Broad spectrum antibiotic. Clear? So hence your option is last one. So not true ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದರೆ chloramphenicol is Broad spectrum antibiotic, it inhibits both gram positive and gram negative bacteria. So in the fourth option they are given is it inhibits the growth of only gram positive bacteria. That is the wrong one. So it inhibits the growth of both positive and gram negative bacteria. Clear? Next. Question number 54. Which of the following statement is correct about bakelite? So what is meant by a bakelite? Bakelite is phenol formaldehyde resin. Bakelite is phenol formaldehyde resin. So it is cross-linked polymer. It is a cross-linked polymer. So it is not a linear polymer. So it is not a addition polymer. It is not a branched chain polymer. So it is a cross-linked polymer. So hence your option is fourth option. So fourth option is the right option for question number 54. So look here. So which of the following statement is correct about bakelite? Bakelite is phenol formaldehyde resin. It is an addition polymer, wrong. It is a linear polymer, wrong. It is a branched chain polymer, it is also wrong. It is cross-linked polymer, that is right. So question number 54, fourth option is the right option. Next question. Question number 55. If for a certain reaction, enthalpy of reaction is 30 kilojoules per mole at 450 Kelvin, the value of entropy change in joules per Kelvin per mole for which the same reaction will be spontaneous at the same temperature. Spontaneous at the same temperature. So look here. We know that for spontaneous process, delta G is less than 0, means negative. The sole criteria for spontaneity of a process is decrease in free energy. If delta G is less than 0 or delta G is negative, the reaction is always spontaneous. So question lo kottidaro. So the reaction will be spontaneous at the same temperature is. So if delta G is less than 0, which means that delta G is equal to delta H minus T delta S is less than 0. Or in other words, delta S is greater than delta H by T. So which is equal to, delta H by T means delta H enthalpy change 30 kilojoules per mole. So 30 into 10 to the power of 3 kilojoules per mole. So nanile joules alli tagondide divided by temperature 450 Kelvin. So 450 Kelvin. Clear? So it is equal to, now observe ಮಾಡಿ 10 power 3 ಇದೆ, ಇದನ್ನ 10 power 3 ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು. So 2 by, so 0 cancel ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಡ್ರೆ, so 2 by, wait, 15, so 30 ಹಾಗೆ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ, 30, so 45 into 10, so 15 2 times, 15 3 times, so 2/3 of 10 to the power of 2, 2/3 of 10 power 2 means, so 200 divided by 3, approximately 70. So but your answer is So here actually the answer is 66.66. Clear? So your answer is slightly greater than 66.66. Means your answer is 70. So greater than 66.6 means 70. So your answer is 70. Clear? For a spontaneous process, delta G is less than 0 or negative. So if delta G is less than 0, then delta G minus T delta S is less than 0. Sorry, delta H minus T delta S. So because we know that delta G is equal to delta H minus T delta S. So instead of J, I can write delta H minus T delta S less than 0, or in other words, delta S is greater than delta H by T. So on substituting the values, you will get greater than 66.6 means so 70. Clear? Next, question number 56. Match the element in column 1 with that in column 2. Question number 56. Match the element in column 1 with that in column 2. Nodi. Copper is non-metal, wrong. Transition metal, that is right. A2. Copper is transition metal. So copper A, set is transition metal A2. Then second one, fluorine. Fluorine is non-metal B1. So fluorine is non-metal B1. Then silicon is a metalloid. Clear? Silicon is metalloid. So silicon, option C, set is metalloid fourth one. Then D, cerium is lanthanoid, third one, D3. So your option is A2, B1, C4, A2, B1, A2. First option wrong, second option wrong. Either third one or fourth one, A2, B1. So third option is the right option. A2, B1. A is copper, 2 means transition metal. Copper is transition metal, fluorine is non-metal, silicon is metalloid, cerium is lanthanoid. Clear? So ನೋಡಿ ಈ ತರ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಬಂದಾಗ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಒಂದ್ ಅಥವಾ ಎರಡನ್ನ ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ಮಾಡ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ನೋಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಡಿ, ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಹೋಗಿ ಮುಂದಿನ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಅನ್ನ ಸೊ ನೀವು ಸೇವ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಬಹುದು. ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್? ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್, ಕ್ವಶನ್ ನಂಬರ್ 57. Question number 57. Which of the following is free radical substitution reaction? Which of the following is free radical substitution reaction? Question number 57. Free radical substitution reaction. Methane with bromine. So first option, methane with bromine in the presence of sunlight, is not observed. It is free radical substitution. Methane reacts with bromine in the presence of sunlight. It undergoes substitution reaction. So enta substitution is free radical substitution. So it is free radical substitution. Free radical substitution. Second one, benzene with bromine. Second one, benzene with Br2 in the presence of aluminium chloride, AlCl3 is electrophilic substitution reaction. Benzene with bromine in the presence of aluminium chloride, it is electrophilic substitution reaction. Propene with HBr, third one, propene with HBr. ನೋಡಿ catalyst ಅನ್ನ ನೋಡಿ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡ್ರೆ benzoyl peroxide is given, that is benzoyl peroxide C6H5 COO, so twice O2, benzoyl peroxide twice O2 ನಿಮಗೆ C6H5 COO ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. this is benzoyl peroxide. ಸೊ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ ತಪ್ಪಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೋಬೇಡ್ರಿ. C6H5 ನೋಡಿ C6H5 COO twice benzoyl peroxide. So the reaction is free radical addition mechanism. This is free radical addition reaction. Free radical addition reaction. Fourth one, acetylene with HBr. Acetylene CH triple bond CH with HBr. This is electrophilic addition reaction. Electrophilic addition reaction. This is electrophilic addition reaction. Clear? ಎಲ್ಲ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಲಿ. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಬರ್ರಿ. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಈಸ್ methane with bromine. So it undergoes free radical substitution reaction. Methane reacts with chlorine and bromine. In the presence of sunlight, we get 4 substituted products. The reaction which follows free radical substitution. So you get bromomethane, dibromomethane, tribromomethane, and tetrabromomethane. Or if you take methane with chlorine, chloromethane, dichloromethane, trichloromethane, and carbon tetrachloride. Clear? So your option is, which of the following is a free radical substitution? First one. First option is the right option. Next. So let us move on to question number 58. The reaction of constant sulfuric acid with carbohydrates, particularly sucrose is given, is an example of. So carbohydrates means polyhydroxyaldehydes are ketones. They are generally they are hydrates of carbon. Sucrose is given. Question number 58. When sucrose C12H22O11, it reacts with concentrated sulfuric acid to form 12C plus H2SO4 11H2. So sucrose is converted into carbon. Loss of water takes place. Elimination of elements of water. So elimination of elements of water from carbohydrates, that is called dehydration. So sucrose gets dehydrated in the presence of constant sulfuric acid to form carbon black. Sugar gets charred. The reaction is dehydration reaction. Sulfonation, reduction, dehydration, and oxidation. So your option is dehydration reaction. Clear? Next, question number 59. Which of the following substituted phenol is the strongest acid? Question number 59. Which of the following phenol is the strongest acid? So look at the hint for this question. Which of the following is substituted phenol? Which of the following substituted phenol is the strongest acid? So acidity of phenols can be increased by. So which factor which increases the acidity of phenols? And also in case of carboxylic acids, acidic strength is increased by the negative inductive effect, negative mesomeric effect, Clear? So acidity of phenols, acidity of phenol increases in the presence of electron withdrawing groups. Electron withdrawing groups. It means that electron withdrawing groups increases the acidity of phenols by ನೋಡಿ ಯಾಕಾಗವೆ. So why the acidity of phenols increases? So by increasing the stability of phenoxide ion. So any factor which increases the stability of phenoxide ion, it increases the acidity. So electron withdrawing groups, they exert minus I effect. Clear? So it means that electron withdrawing groups increase the acidity of phenol. So look at the first option. Nodi, paranitrophenol. In paranitrophenol, NO2 group is electron withdrawing group. So electron withdrawing group increase the acidity of phenols. Hence, first option is right. So look at the second option. So methoxy group is electron donating group, which reduces the stability of phenoxide ion. Therefore, the acidic character decreases. In the third option also, ethyl group, it is an electron donating group. So therefore, first option is the right option for question number 59. So first option is the right option. Clear? Next, let us go on to the question number 60. Match the compounds of xenon in column 1 with molecular structure in column 2. In column 2. Let's look here. Question number 60. XeF2 xenon difluoride. The type of hybridization is 8 plus 2 by 2, sp3d hybridization. So sp3d hybridization, but only 2 bonds are there. There are 3 lone pairs. So hence it is linear. So therefore linear is A2. Hence A2. Next, second one XeF4. This is square planar. So reason is, so 8 plus 4 by 2, sp3d2 hybridization. So only 4 bonds and 2 lone pairs. It is square planar. So hence B ನ ನೋಡಿ ಯಾವುದಕ್ಕೆ ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್ ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ B3. ಸೊ A2 B3 ನೋಡಿ A2 B3 ಯಾವ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಇದೆ ನೋಡ್ರಿ, A2 B3 ನೋಡಿ ಒಂದೇ ಆಪ್ಷನ್, ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಚಾಯ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಸೊ ಲುಕ್ ಅಟ್ ದಿ ಗಿವನ್ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ಸ್. A2 B3 ಎರಡು ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ನೋಡಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ A2 B3 ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಇಸ್ ರೈಟ್. ಥರ್ಡ್ ಒನ್ ನೋಡ್ರಿ, xenon trioxide XeO3 is, so it is sp3 hybridization state. So 8 by 2 4, the type of hybridization is sp3 xenon trioxide, sp3 hybridization 8 by 2. So it is the divalent atom. sp3 hybridization, only 3 bonds, one is lone pair, so therefore it is pyramidal. So because one lone pair, so here 2 lone pairs, so here 3 lone pairs. The last one XeOF4, 8 plus 4 by 2, sp3d2, sp3d2, but it has 5 bond pairs and 1 lone pair. That is square pyramidal. So XCO F4, 8 plus 4 by 2, 12 by 2 means 6, 6 means sp3d2, but it has 1 lone pair. So hence it is square pyramidal. Square pyramidal. Clear? So therefore your option is second option. Next question. Question number 61. Half-life for a zero order reaction having 0.02 molar initial concentration of the reactant is 100 seconds. 100 seconds is half-life period given. The rate constant in moles per liter per second, moles per liter per second for the reaction is. Nodi, half-life for a zero order reaction. So in zero order reaction, so in zero order reaction, T of is equal to R naught divided by 2K. So K is equal to R naught divided by 2 into T of R naught initial concentration, that is given. R naught is 0.02 divided by 2 into 100. It is equal to 2 into 10 to the power of minus 2 by 2 into 10 to the power of 2. 2 cancel each other. It is equal to 10 to the power of minus 4. So this is your answer. 10 to the power of minus 4. So our option is fourth option, 1 into 10 to the power of minus 4. 1 into 10 power minus 4. Fourth option is the right option for question number 61. Clear? Nodale relationship between half-life period and initial concentration. So in case of zero order reaction, zero order expression work. Clear? Next, another question. Question number 62. Identify the incorrect statement from the following. Identify the incorrect statement from the following. First option, overall decrease in atomic and ionic radii from lanthanum to lutetium is called lanthanide contraction. That is right. There is a regular decrease in atomic size from lanthanum to lutetium. It is due to ineffective shielding shown by the electrons of f orbitals. Is clear? First option is correct. Second option, lanthanoids reveal only +3 oxidation state. So for the question number 62, so lanthanoid reveals only +3 oxidation state. So for lanthanoids +3 is the common oxidation state. So some elements also shows +2 and +4 oxidation state. Hence, so lanthanoids reveal only +3 oxidation state. That is wrong. In addition to +3 state, so this is the wrong statement, incorrect statement. In addition to +3 state, there is also a possibility of +2 and +4 oxidation state in case of lanthanides. That is why second statement is incorrect. Third statement, lanthanoid ions other than F0 type and F14 type are all paramagnetic. That is correct. F0 and in F14 there are no unpaired electrons. So other than F0 and F14, so all lanthanides are paramagnetic. That is also correct statement. Then fourth one, zirconium and hafnium, have identical radii of 160 picometer and 159 picometer, almost same atomic radii, serve as a consequence of Lampard contraction. That is also correct. It is due to the poor shielding effect of electrons of F orbitals. Clear? So that is why your option is second option. Next question. Question number 63. Question number 63. Metal which reveals maximum number of oxidation stage. ನೋಡಿ ಯಾವುದು ಮ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿಮಮ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೇಷನ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಅನ್ನು ಹೊಂದಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಕ್ವಶನ್ ನಂಬರ್ 63. So look here, the metal which reveals maximum number of oxidation state, scandium, copper, manganese, zinc. So manganese, so A3 match ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. So A3, so for question number 63, A3 maximum oxidation state shown by manganese. Second one, metal although placed in 3D block is considered not a transition element belonging to 3D series, but it is not considered as transition element, that is zinc. So B4. So B4. So zinc is non-transitional element. That is correct. Then another one is metal which does not exhibit variable oxidation state. Metal which does not exhibit variable oxidation state is scandium. So C1. Clear? ನೋಡಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡ್ರಿ, A3B4 ಯಾವ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಇದೆ ಹೋಗಿ. ಸೊ A3B4 only in the third option, hence third option is the right option. A3B4 C1. Last one is the metal in the +1 oxidation state is aqueous solution which undergoes disproportionation reaction. Copper in +1 oxidation state, that undergoes disproportionation reaction. Hence, so D second one, D2. So D2. So therefore, your option is third option. Next, question number 64. If 8 gram of non-electrolyte solute is dissolved in 114 gram of N-octane to reduce its vapor pressure to 80%, the molar mass of solute is, so what is the molar mass of solute? That is given question. Given molar mass of N-octane, that is a solvent, 114 gram per mole. 114 gram per mole. So look here. So for question number 64, 8 gram of non-electrolyte solute, W2 is 8 gram. It is dissolved in 114 gram of N-octane. So W1 is 114 gram. Mass of solvent is 114 gram. To reduce its vapor pressure to 80%. So when a non-volatile solute is added to a solvent, vapor pressure decreases. By the addition of any non-volatile solute to a solvent, the vapor pressure of solution is always less than the vapor pressure of pure solvent. So therefore P. So P is 80. Then what is P0? P0 is 100. P0 is 100. Then so molecular mass of solvent is given, that is 114 gram per mole. Then what is the molecular mass of solute? So what is the relation between all the 6 datas? ನೋಡಿ ಯಾವ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ. When a non-volatile solute is added to a solvent, vapor pressure decreases. Lowering in vapor pressure concept. Relative lowering of vapor pressure concept. So in case of relative lowering of vapor pressure, P0 minus P by P0 is equal to x2 mole fraction of solute. It is also equal to x2 means mole fraction of solute, number of moles of solute by moles of solvent. So n2 by n1. It is n2 is w2 by m2 into n1 is m1 by w1. So therefore, I want the value of m2. So m2 is equal to w2 into m1 by w1 into p0 by p0 minus p. This is equal to w2. Mass of solute is 8. Mass of molecular mass of solvent is 114. Divided by mass of solvent is also 114. So p0 is 100. Divided by 100 minus 80 means 20. 20. So 5 times it is equal to 40. So our answer is 40. Clear? So for the question number 64, your option is third one. 40 is your answer. Third option is the right option. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ ಏನು ಡೇಟಾ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಾರೆ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಳ್ರೆ. ಸೊ ಅದನ್ನ ಯಾವ್ಯಾವ ಡೇಟಾ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಏನು ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಏನೇನು ರಿಲೇಶನ್ಶಿಪ್ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗಿ. ಸೊ ಒಂದು ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ ನಿಮಗೆ. ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್? Question number 64 clear? Okay. Next. Question number 65. Next question. Question number 65. Match the coordination number and type of hybridization with the distribution of hybrid orbitals in space based on valence bond theory. Nodi. Question number 65. Based on valence bond theory, so based on the valence bond theory, match the coordination number and type of hybridization with distribution of hybrid orbitals. First one, for sp3 tetrahedral. sp3 means tetrahedral. Nodi, A3. So A3, sp3, so it is tetrahedral. So coordination number 4, sp3 tetrahedral. Coordination number 4, dsp2 square plane. So dsp2 is square planar. Geometry of the complex that depends on type of hybridization. Geometry of the complex depends on the type of hybridization. Then 5 sp3d. So here second one, 4 dsp2 means b2 4 1 b4. So here b4. ನೋಡಿ ಎರಡಕ್ಕೆ ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಡ್ರಿ. A3 ಇದೆ, A3 ಎರಡು ಆಪ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ, B4 ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. A3 B4. ಸೊ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ನೋಡಿ, A3 B4. ಇಲ್ಲಿ A3 B1 ಇದೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ A3 B4 ಇದೆ. So that is why your option is second option. Similarly 5 sp3d ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ, C ನಲ್ಲಿ 5 sp3d. So it is trigonal bipyramidal geometry. So trigonal bipyramidal geometry. Trigonal bipyramidal. So 1. Let's see 1 ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. So C1 ನೋಡಿ. So third option is C1 ಇದೆ. Next 6 D2 sp3. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ D ಗೆ D2 sp3, it is octahedral structure. So D octahedral second option ಇದೆ D2. Second point ನೋಡಿ, A3 B4 C1 D2. Geometry of the complex that depends on type of hybridization. Type of hybridization that also depends on coordination number. Clear? So that is why So for the question number 65, second option is the correct option. Next, question number 66. Number of angular nodes and radial nodes in 3s orbitals are. Number of angular nodes and radial nodes. Number of angular nodes is equal to L. Number of radial nodes is equal to n minus L minus 1. So for 3s orbital, ನೋಡಿ observe ಮಾಡ್ರಿ. So for 3s orbital, n is equal to 3, L is equal to 0. So for 3s orbital, n is 3, L is 0. So therefore, number of angular nodes, L value is 0. Number of radial nodes, so n is 3. 3 minus L is 0. So 3 minus 0 minus 1, it is equal to 2. So therefore 2, 0 and 2. 0 and 2 respectively. First option is the right option for question number 66. Clear? So your option is first one. Clear? First option is the right option. So the general number of angular nodes is L, azimuthal quantum number. So number of radial nodes is equal to n minus L minus 1. So the given orbital is 3s orbital. So for 3s orbital, the principal quantum number value is 3. So for s orbital, azimuthal quantum number is 0. So therefore, angular nodes L is 0. 0 angular nodes, and the number of radial nodes n is 3. So 3 minus 0 minus 1 means 2. Clear? Next, let us move on to the question number 67. Identify the correct statement from the following. Node statements are nodta hogre. Lithium and magnesium shows some similarities in their physical properties as they are diagonally placed in the periodic table. So that is the correct statement. So lithium shows diagonal relationship with magnesium in certain certain similarities between lithium and magnesium. Then lithium chloride is deliquescent and crystallizes as hydrate, LiCl H2O. That is wrong. LiCl2H2O. LiCl2H2O. So this is correct. Then order of hydration of enthalpies of alkaline earth cations is, so smaller the size, higher is the hydration enthalpy. Smaller the size, higher is the hydration enthalpy. Higher is the hydration enthalpy. So that is why option 3 wrong. So beryllium, it undergoes hydration to the greater extent because of small size. Lithium is softer among alkali metals. So lithium is hard among alkali metals. Clear? So that is why your option is first option. First option is the right option for question number 67. Clear? Nodale. So lithium, it deliquescent and it hydrolyzes as, it crystallizes as hydrate. The hydrate of lithium chloride is LiCl2H2. Clear? Then smaller the size of the cation, higher is the hydration enthalpy. So that is why beryllium, which undergoes hydration to a greater extent, so large amount of energy is released during the hydration of beryllium ion. But barium is just that is wrong. Lithium is softer, not. So lithium is harder than the other alkali metals in the same group. Next, we'll move on to another question. Question number 68. Deficiency of which vitamin causes osteomalacia? So, osteomalacia is a disease caused by vitamin D. This is softening of bones and also joint pain. So, softening of bones and joint pain caused by the deficiency of vitamin D. So in adults, in adults only. Clear? So that is the deficiency of vitamin D, deficiency of vitamin G, which causes the softening of bones and joint pain in adults. So your option is vitamin D. Clear? Nodi? Softening of bones and joint pain. So caused by the deficiency of vitamin D. Next. Identify the wrongly matched pair between molecule and shape of geometry of the molecule. Identify wrongly matched pair between molecule and shape of geometry of the molecule. NS3 trigonal pyramidal. That is right. Pyramidal structure. Beryllium chloride, linear. That is also correct. Then PCl5, trigonal planar. So third one, PCl5, trigonal bipyramidal geometry. Trigonal bipyramidal geometry, not trigonal planar. So which is wrongly matched on SF6 is octahedral, that is also correct. So wrong one is, so look here, PCl5 trigonal planar, that is wrong. Trigonal bipyramidal, this is the wrong match. Next, question number 70. One butene reacts with diborane followed by treating with water, hydrogen peroxide and OH minus. The reaction is, so question number 70, butene, CS3CH2, CH double bond CH2 on treatment with diborane, B2H6 followed by treating with water and H2O hydrogen peroxide in the presence of basic medium. So the reaction is hydroboration oxidation reaction. Hydroboration oxidation reaction. So in hydroboration oxidation reaction, alkenes. So alkene gives alcohol. Alkene gives alcohol. So butylene or 1-butene. The reaction is hydroboration oxidation reaction. So we know that propene, it is subjected to hydroboration and oxidation reaction. So finally we get a N-propyl alcohol. So similarly, instead of propene, if butene is given, 1-butene is given. So alkenes, they are subjected to hydroboration oxidation reaction, gives alcohols. In this case also we get alcohol, CH3, CH2, CH2, CH2OH. So product is CH3, CH2, 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 OH. So this is N-butyl alcohol. N-butyl alcohol. Clear? So your option is, so first option is wrong. This is secondary butyl alcohol. Second option, hydrocarbon. Third option, so N-butyl alcohol is obtained. That is right. So third option is the right option for the question number 70. So third option is right. Clear? ನೋಡಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಜ್ಞಾಪಕಟ್ಕೊಳ್ರಿ. Propene subjected to hydroboration oxidation reaction, we get N-propyl alcohol. Butene is subjected to hydroboration oxidation reaction, giving N-butyl alcohol. ಆಯ್ತಲ್ವಾ? Next. Question number 71. Identify the reaction from the following having top position in EMF series. EMF series ಅಂದ್ರೆ so electrochemical series that is based on the standard reduction potential values at any one temperature. According to their electrode potentials at 298 Kelvin. So identify the reaction from following having top position in EMF series. So look here in the given options. First one, gold is given. Au plus 3 electron, we get Au. So reduction potential value of gold is very high. So reduction potential value of gold is very high. SRP of gold is very high. So higher SRP, we know that the electrode reaction acts as cathode. So acts as cathode. So while calculating the EMF is equal to, so E naught cathode minus E naught anode. The highest value of EMF is possible only when the highest value of standard reduction potential value. So we know that gold has higher SRP value. Standard reduction potential value of gold is very high. So hence, so first option is the right option. Potassium, magnesium and iron, so their SRP values are negative, but gold is positive. Hence, so first option is the right option for question number 71. Clear? So gold has higher standard reduction potential value. So we know that EMF is equal to standard reduction potential of cathode minus anode. So if this value is very high, then EMF should be high. Clear? Next, question number 72. Match the elements in column 1 with methods of purification in column 2. Boron, tin, zirconium and nickel. So boron, so it is just like the carbon, silicon, germanium. So these metals are non-metals refined by zone refining method. In that case, we get ultra pure metals. Tin has the low boiling point, hence it is purified by liquefaction method. Zirconium, Van Arkel method. Nickel, Mons process. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವೇನ್ ಮಾಡಿ familiar. So familiar methods are ನೋಡಿ familiar methods ಏನಂದ್ರೆ zirconium, it is purified by Van Arkel method. Zirconium. Nickel is purified by Mons process. ನೋಡಿ zirconium C1 match ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ರೆ. So here C1, nickel Mons process D2, C1 D2 ಎಲ್ಲಿದೆ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಿ. C1 D2 ಎರಡು ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಇದೆ, ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಆಪ್ಷನ್. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಅಗೇನ್ tin. So tin, so it has low boiling point, so therefore it is purified by liquefaction method. So tin in option, so the B. So B, liquation is 3, B3. B3. So B3 is observed in case of first and third. So therefore first option is the right option. A4. So A is boron. So boron is purified by zone refining. Zone refining. So A4. A4. So A4 is only first and third option. B3 first and third option. So C1 is only in the second option. So that's why A4, B3, C1. A4, B3, C1, D2. A4, A4 is in either first or third option. Nodi, observe madre. A4 is either first option or third option. Then B3, C2, sorry, C1. C1 in first option, second option is there. So, but first and second not possible. First option. A4, B3, C1, D2. A4, B3, C1, D2. So, option 1 is the right option for question number 72. So, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ಫೆಮಿಲಿಯರ್ ಯಾವುದಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಮಾತ್ರ ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು. ಬೋರಾನ್ ರಿಫೈನ್ಡ್ ಬೈ ಝೋನ್ ರಿಫೈನಿಂಗ್, ಟಿನ್ ಬೈ ಲಿಕ್ವೇಷನ್, ಎರಡಕ್ಕೆ ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ಮಾಡಿ ನೋಡ್ರಿ, ಬೇರೆ ಯಾವುದಕ್ಕೂ ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಒಂದೇ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಇದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅದೇ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಚಾಯ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಡ್ರಿ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ನಂಬರ್ 73. Which among the following salt solution is basic in nature? So basic salts are basic in nature. Which among the following aqueous solution is basic in nature? Ammonium nitrate, it is an acidic salt. Ammonium nitrate is acidic salt. Ammonium nitrate. So option 1. So first option is acidic salt. Acidic. Second one is ammonium sulfate is also acidic. Second one is also acidic. Third one, sodium acetate, CH3COONA. It undergoes hydrolysis to form CS3COOH and NaOH. So because of the formation of strong base, this solution becomes basic nature. So hence, so your option is third option. Ammonium chloride is also acidic. So ammonium nitrate is acidic. NH4NO3 is acidic. Then ammonium sulfate, NH4 twice SO4. This is acidic. But sodium acetate is basic. The salt which undergoes hydrolysis, if it can form a strong base, the solution, aqueous solution of that salt becomes basic to litmus. But ammonium nitrate, it undergoes hydrolysis, we get ammonium hydroxide weak base, nitric acid strong acid, acidic solution. Ammonium sulfate is hydrolyzed to form sulfuric acid and ammonium hydroxide. Sulfuric acid is strong acid. Sodium acetate, acetic acid, weak acid, sodium hydroxide, strong base. Ammonium chloride is also acidic salt. So hence, your option is third option. So for the question number 73, so third option is the right option. Next, let us move on to question number 74. In which of these salts colloidal particles are with negative charge? So colloidal particles are negative charge. Hemoglobin positive, TiO2 not, hydrated alumina positive, starch is, so option fourth option. So for question number 74, starch is negative charge salt. Starch is negative salt. Starch is negative salt. Clear? So our option is fourth option. For question number 74, fourth option is the right option. Next question number 75. Which of the following acid will form an anhydride on heating and B acid imide on strong heating with ammonia? So which of the following compound can form anhydrides? So here no formation of anhydrides between OH and CO. In the second case, so look here, which of the following acid will form anhydride on heating and B acid imide on heating with ammonia. Clear? So one, in the first case there is no formation of anhydride. In the second case, since two COH groups are far apart from each other, the distance between the two COH groups is large. That is why there is no formation of anhydride. Then the third option also, two COH groups are far apart from each other. But in the fourth option, so look here, fourth option is the right option. Since on heating with ammonia to form imides, phthalic acid, COOH, bond COOH. So on heating, it loses a molecule of water, so OH and H, to form anhydride. CO, here also CO, O. This is phthalic anhydride. Phthalic anhydride. Then on heating with ammonia, NH3. So here phthalimide is obtained. Imides are obtained. CO, NH. Hence your option is, so this kind of product is formed only when phthalic anhydride is formed only when if two COH groups are on the adjacent position. This is observed only in case of phthalic acid. So phthalic acid form phthalic anhydride on heating. Phthalic acid form phthalic imides on heating with ammonia. Clear? So amides are formed. Then amides again subjected to hydrolysis, we get back to the same compounds. So hence, for the question number 75, your option is fourth option. So fourth option is the right option for question number 75. Next. So move on to another question. Question number 76. In a typical fuel cell, the reactants are and product are. In a typical fuel cells, in case of fuel cells, energy released during the combustion of fuels, that is directly converted into electrical energy. The fuels used in fuel cells are methane, then hydrogen. See, if hydrogen is used, H2, in case of hydrogen oxygen fuel cells, to form water. Clear? So 2S2, 2S2O. Hence your option is reactants are hydrogen and oxygen, products are water. So look here, reactants are, so these are the two reactants, so water is the product. Hence your option is third option, H2O2 and H2O. so not third, second option. Hydrogen and oxygen. Hydrogen and oxygen are the reactants. Hydrogen is a fuel burnt in oxygen to form water, liberating energy. That liberated energy is directly converted into electrical energy. Next, question number 77. In collision theory of chemical reaction, ZAB represents. In chemical theory, in collision theory of chemical reactions, ZAB, Z that represents collision frequency. Steric factor wrong. It represents the collision frequency of reactants A and B. So collision frequency. So between A and B. Collision frequency between A and B. So your option is, so look here. So in collision theory of chemical reaction rates, ZAB is the collision frequency of what? Both A and B. Science for the question number 77. Question number 77. Your option is. So option is second. Second option is the right option for question number 77. Next, question number 78. Which of the following statement is not true about glucose? So look here. So what is the structure of glucose? Look at the structure of glucose. So glucose is CHO, first carbon, and the second carbon atom OH group is on the left side, and the third carbon atom OH group is on the left side. Similarly, on the fourth and fifth carbon atoms OH groups are on the right side. So sixth carbon atom which carries one primary alcoholic group. So this is the structure of glucose. Structure of glucose. First option. It is an aldohexose. So it contains an aldehyde group with 6 carbon atoms. 6 carbon atoms. Aldehyde functional group is there. Hence it is aldohexose. First option is right. Note. Second option. It is aldopentose. That is wrong. In aldopentose. So in aldopentose, 5 carbon atom with the CHO group. 5 carbon atom and CHO. That including the 5 carbon atom and CHO. This is aldopentose, but glucose contains 6 carbon atoms. This is aldohexose. It is a reducing sugar, so because of the presence of a potential reducing group, namely aldehyde group. So it contains 5 hydroxyl groups. That is also correct. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Clear? Therefore, your option is, so it is not true. Aldopentose is not true. Next question. Question number 79. The potential energy Y curve for hydrogen formation as a function of internuclear distance x of the hydrogen atom is shown below. So as per the given diagram, look here. So as per the given diagram, so formation of hydrogen, bond formation, it is an exothermic process. So formation of H2. So in the formation of H2, the energy is released. Therefore, delta H is equal to, so H final minus H initial. H final minus H initial. So H final is B, H initial is A. So therefore your option is not. As per the given diagram, formation of H2, bond formation is accompanied by the release of energy. So therefore, delta H, the enthalpy change between the reactants and products means H final minus H initial. H final is B, A to B. So H initial is A. So therefore your answer is B minus A. So for the question 79, your option is fourth option, B minus A. So fourth option is the right option for question number 79. Clear? Next, let us move on to question number 80. Identify the compound A in the following reaction. Identify the compound A in the following reaction. A on treatment with, ನೋಡಿ ಏನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದಾರಲ್ಲ, A on treatment with hydrogen in the presence of pelletized barium sulfate to form benzaldehyde. The compound which is reduced by hydrogen in the presence of Lindlar's catalyst, in the presence of pelletized barium sulfate to form an aldehyde. The reaction is called Rosenmund's reduction reaction. Rosenmund's reduction reaction. So in Rosenmund's reduction reaction, this A should be, A is acid chloride to aldehyde. Acid chloride to aldehyde. So aldehyde is benzaldehyde. Aldehyde is benzaldehyde. So therefore the compound is benzoyl chloride, C6H5COCl. So it is reduced by hydrogen in the presence of pelletized barium sulfate. It gives benzaldehyde. So this is benzoyl chloride. Clear? So your option is benzoyl chloride. First option is the right option. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಏನು ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡಿ ನೀವು, the compound A gives benzaldehyde on treatment with hydrogen in the presence of pelletized barium sulfate. In which reaction is carried out in the presence of palladium deposited on barium sulfate and deactivated by using a quinoline or sulfur. Such kind of reagents are used in, catalysts are used in Rosenmund's reduction reaction. In Rosenmund's reduction reactions, acid chlorides are changed to acid amides. Acid chlorides are changed to aldehydes. Clear? So that is why your option is benzoyl chloride. Next question. Question number 81. How many sp2 hybridized carbon atoms and pi bonds are present in the following compound? How many sp2 hybridized carbon atoms and pi bonds in the given compound? So the compound is C triple bond C COOCH3, C triple bond COOCH3, COOCH. Clear? This is the compound given. So how many number of sp2 hybrid state of carbon? So this is one sp2, 2, 3, 4, 5, then 6, 6, this is 1, 7, 7 sp2 hybridized carbon atoms. And how many pi bonds? 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6. 7 sp2 hybridized carbon atoms. sp2 hybridized carbon atoms. So benzene ring allira 6 carbon atoms sp2. In addition to this, CO group is a carbon group. This is also sp2. Hence, there are 7 sp2 hybridized carbon atoms. And number of pi bonds. So pi bonds is in the benzene ring, there are 3 pi bonds. 3 plus 2, 5. 5 plus 1, 6. So pi bond 6. So 7, 6. 7, 6. 7 sp2 hybrid carbon atoms, 6 pi bonds. So your option is 7, 6, option 3. 7, 6, option 3. So for the question number 81. Clear? So number of pi bonds and number of sp2 hybridized carbon atoms. Next question. Question number 82. At the standard conditions, if the change in enthalpy of the following reaction is minus 109 kilojoules per mole, H2 plus Br2 we get 2HBr. So delta H given for this equation. Given that bond energy of H2 and Br2 is 435 kilojoules per mole and 192 kilojoules per mole. What is the bond energy of HBr? What is the bond energy of HBr? So look here, at standard conditions, delta H given for the equation H2 plus Br2 we get 2HBr. So delta H given, delta H is equal to minus 109 kilojoules. Minus 109 kilojoules. Clear? Minus 109 kilojoules. Then in this reaction, bond energy of H2 and Br2 are given. Bond energy of or bond enthalpy of H2 and Br2 given. So for this we have to calculate the bond energy of HBr. Delta H is equal to total bond energy of reactants minus total bond energy of products. Delta H is minus 109 kilojoules. It is equal to bond energy of reactants H2, hydrogen 435. So 435 plus 192 minus bond energy of products 2 into, I don't know the value of bond energy of HBr. So X is the bond energy of HBr. So 2 moles of HBr is formed, therefore 2X. Then 2X is equal to, so 2X is equal to, so left side tarre. So here 5 plus 2, 7. 9 plus 3, 12. So 2 plus 4, 6. 627. So plus 109. So X is equal to 9 plus 7, 16. 3, 7, 36 divided by 2 is equal to 368. Clear? So your answer is 368. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಲ್ಯಾಕ್ ತಗೊಂಡಿದೀವಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ bond energy of reactants minus bond energy of products, that gives the enthalpy change. So enthalpy change is equal to total bond energy of reactants minus total bond energy of products. Reactants are both S2 and Br2. So given that the bond energy of S2 is 435 kilojoules, bond energy of Br2 is 192, 1 mole is there. Bond energy of HBr, 2 moles are there, 2 into, I don't know the value of bond energy of HBr, it is to be calculated, say it is X. Then minus 2x left side plus 2x, right side plus 109, we add mod 627, x is equal to 368. Clear? Your option is second option. Next. Question number 83. Minimum pressure required to compress 600 cubic decimeter of a gas at 1 bar to 150 dm cube at 40 degrees centigrade. Look here. Temperature remains same. Volume and pressure are variable. That is according to Boyle's law. According to Boyle's law. So according to Boyle's law, so P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2. P1 pressure is given 1 bar pressure into volume is 600 liter, 600 cubic decimeter, it is equal to P2. The minimum pressure required, so P2 should be calculated. V2, so that is, so when it is compressed, the volume reduces 150 cubic decimeter. Then P2 is equal to 600 by 150. It is equal to 4 bar. So our answer is 4. Clear? Second option is the right option for question number 83. Second option is correct. Next. Question number 84. What is the role of gypsum, CaSO4 in setting of cement? Identify the correct option from the following. So the role of gypsum in setting of cement is gypsum that is used to, or that plays a very important role in setting of cement. So it slow down the rate of hydrolysis, thereby the cement gets maximum hardness, maximum hard, slow setting of cement. So that is why, so first option is to help to remove water molecules, that is wrong. To fasten the setting process, that is also wrong. Provide water molecules for hydration process, that is also wrong. So your option is fourth option, to slow down the setting process. In this process, makes cement hard, very hard. So cement or the mixture, it becomes very hard if the hydration process is very slow. Clear? So for the question number 84, fourth option is the right option. For 84, fourth option is correct. Next. Question number 85. Which of the following oxides is amphoteric in nature? Which of the following oxides are amphoteric in nature? Carbon, germanium, tin and silicon. So 14th group elements are given oxides of 14th group elements. So on moving down the group, the basic character of the oxides increases. On moving down the group, on moving down the group, oxides of basic character increases. The oxides whose basic character increases, which means initially they are acidic and then amphoteric and finally basic. So carbon dioxide, silica SiO2, germanium GO2, SnO2. So these three are, so these are acidic. SnO2 is amphoteric. SnO2 is amphoteric. So which of the following oxide is amphoteric? SnO2 is amphoteric. So third option is the right option for question number 85. So third option is correct. So other amphoteric oxides are, so Al2O3, ZnO, SnO2, so PbO. So these are all amphoteric in nature. Clear? Next, let us move on to question number 86. Which one of the following reactions does not come under hydrolysis type reaction? So which one of the following does not come across the hydrolysis, not hydrolysis reaction? First one, F2 plus S2O to form 4HF and O2. F2, so 2F2 plus H2O to form 4HF and O2. So here fluorine is an oxidizing agent that oxidizes water to oxygen. Water to oxygen. And the oxidation state of fluorine is 0. So here it is -1. So it gains 1 electron. So it is an oxidizing agent. And in water, so oxygen state is -2, it is 0, so it is reduced. It is, so this is reduction. So reduction, this is oxidation. So this is the oxidizing agents are reduced. So oxidizing agents are reduced. So reducing agents are oxidized, loss of 2 electrons. So this is oxidation. The loss of electrons, this is gaining of electrons. Therefore, this process is redox reaction. So first one is redox reaction. So question number 86. So question number 86, first one is redox reaction. It is not hydrolysis. So second option, hydrolysis of phosphorus pentoxide, silicon tetrachloride, lithium nitride. So second, third and fourth options are hydrolysis reactions. First option is does not come under hydrolysis. Clear? So your option is first option for question number 86. Next, question number 87. Which of the following compound shows both Frankel as well as Schottky defect? Frankel as well as Schottky defect. ZNS, AZBr, NaCl and AZBr. So silver bromide, AZBr. Silver bromide, so it shows both Frankel and Schottky defect. So in case of Frankel defect, shifting of cation from its own position and it occupies an interstitial site. That is possible only when the cation size is so small. In case of Schottky defect, if both cations and ions sizes are same, so both ions leaves the crystal lattice. So therefore, Az plus and Br minus, almost same size. So they leaves the surface from, they leaves the crystal lattice. It creates a pair of holes, that is Schottky defect. And this Az plus, it fits to occupy the interstitial site. So as a result of which it also shows Frankel defect. Similarly, NaCl, it shows Schottky defect, but not Frankel defect. But zinc sulfide and Az, silver iodide and zinc sulfide shows Frankel defect. So ZNS and AZI, so and also AZBr, they shows Frankel defect. Frankel defect. Then NaCl and also AZBr they shows Schottky defect. Clear? So therefore AZBr they shows both Frankel defect as well as Schottky defect. Hence your option is silver bromide. So your option is silver bromide. Clear? Next, question number 88. 1 mole of carbon atom weighs 12 gram. 1 mole of carbon atom weighs 12 gram. 12 gram. 1 mole carbon means 12 gram, which contains Avogadro number of atoms. Mole is the quantity which contains Avogadro number of atoms. So mass of carbon 12 is 1.9926 into 10 power 23 gram. So mass of one atom of carbon is 1.9926 into 10 power minus 23. 1 mole carbon atom is 12 gram. So 1 mole is the quantity. 1 mole, it is the quantity which contains Avogadro number of 6.022 into 10 to the power of 23 atoms. So therefore your option is 6.022 into 10 power 23. Note observe madre. 1 mole carbon means 12 gram molecular mass or atomic mass, which contains Avogadro number of atoms. So gram atomic mass of any element which contains Avogadro number of atoms. And also we know that 1 mole is the quantity which contains Avogadro number of atoms. Hence our option is, note observe madre, 6.022 into 10 power 23. So third option is the right option. ಇಲ್ಲಿ mass of carbon ಕೂಡ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. Mass of one carbon is 1.9926 and 10 power 23. What is the mass of Avogadro number of carbon atoms? That is equal to 12 gram. Clear? Next, question number 89. Isotonic solutions have same. So solutions having same osmotic pressure, they are called isotonic solutions. So this is a direct question. Solutions having same osmotic pressure, that is called isotonic solutions, or of the same type of electrolytic concentrations. If concentrations are same, so for AB type electrolytes, if concentrations are same, they are also isotonic solutions. Are the solutions having the same number of particles? So because the osmotic pressure is a colligative property that depends on the number of non-volatile solute particles. So in both the solutions having the same number of particles, then both the solutions shows same osmotic pressure. They are called isotonic solutions. Clear? So that is why your option is second option. Question number 90. Solubility product of a salt of the type AB. Salt of the type AB. Solubility product anna kottidare. Solubility product of salt of the AB type salt. So for AB type salts, then what is the molarity of its standard solution? Solubility product is given. So what is the relationship between solubility and solubility product? So solubility is the maximum amount of solute that can be dissolved in. So 1 liter of solution, that is also called molarity. It is equal to So solubility is equal to square root of KSP, or we know that KSP is equal to S square. For AB type salts, KSP is equal to S square. S is equal to solubility is equal to square root of KSP. So KSP value is given. KSP value is 4 into 10 power minus 8. 4 into 10 to the power of minus 8. It is equal to 2 into 10 to the power of minus 4. So our option is 2 into 10 power minus 4. 2 into 10 power minus 4 moles per liter. First option is there. Right option for question number 90. Hello students. So ಈಗ ನೀವು ಸೀರಿಯಸ್ ಆಗಿ ಏನು ಮೆಗಾ ಪೇಪರ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ತವೆ. ಸಿ ಮೆಗಾ ಪೇಪರ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಪ್ರತಿ ಈ ಗ್ರ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಅನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ನೀವು ಆನ್ಯುವಲ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಅನ್ನ ತರನ ನೀವು ಸೀರಿಯಸ್ ಆಗಿ ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ರಿ. ಇಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೆ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಅನ್ನ ಬರೆದಿದ್ರಿ, ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್. ಸೊ ಇಂದ ಮುಂದೆ ಬರೀತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮತ್ತು ಈ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಏನಿದೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಗ್ರ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್, ಎಲ್ಲ ಸಿಲೆಬಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಸೀರಿಯಸ್ ಆಗಿ ಓದ್ಕೊಳ್ರಿ. ಸೊ ಬಿಗಿನಿಂಗ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸೊ ಒಂದ್ಸರಿ ಮೊದಲು ಒಂದೇ ಸರಿ ರಿವಿಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಕಷ್ಟ ಅನ್ಸ್ಬೋದು. ಸೊ ಆಮೇಲೆ ನೀವು ಪದೇ ಪದೇ ರಿಪೀಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋದಂಗೆಲ್ಲ ಬಹಳ ಈಸಿಯಾಗಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಬೇಗನೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ಬೋದು. ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ನೀವು ರಿಪಿಟೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಷ್ಟು ನಿಮಗೆ ಬೆನಿಫಿಟ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ. ಸೊ ಈ ಎಲ್ಲ ಪೇಪರ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ನೀವು ಬಹಳ ಸೀರಿಯಸ್ ಆಗಿ ತಗೋಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಬಹಳ ಸಿನ್ಸಿಯರ್ ಆಗಿ ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಡ್ರಿ. ಬೇಕಾದಷ್ಟು ಟೈಮ್ ಇದೆ ನಿಮಗೆ, ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತಾ? ಆದ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಪೇಪರ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಪೇಪರ್ಸ್ ಏನಿದಾವೆ ಸೊ ಅವನ್ನ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ನೀವು ರಿಪಿಟೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ನೀವೇನು ಓದಿರ್ತೀರಿ ರಿಪೀಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದ್ರ ಮುಖಾಂತರ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಬರೀತೀರಿ. ಈ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಪೇಪರ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ನೀವು ಪ್ರತಿ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಅನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ನೀವು ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಅಂತ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಸೊ ಸೀರಿಯಸ್ ಆಗಿ ನೀವು ಬಂದ್ರೆ ಪ್ರತಿ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಕೂಡ ಸೀರಿಯಸ್ ಇರಬೇಕು. ಏನ್ ನಡೀತದ ಬಿಡು, ಡೈಲಿ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ವಾರದಾಗ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ, ಆ ತರ ಮನೋಭಾವನೆ ಇಟ್ಕೊಬಿಡ್ರಿ. ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್? ಸೀರಿಯಸ್ ಆಗಿ ಓದಿ 100% ಸಕ್ಸಸ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಸೊ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸಲ್ಲಿ ಭೇಟಿ ಮಾಡೋಣ. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು.